It is the result of the temporary closure of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport for reconstruction work on the runway. So, how successful are flight operations at the Kaduna Airport? Correspondent on special assignment tells us. Now, is solar energy for electricity the answer to electricity generation in Nigeria? You will get to know from our correspondents. And Osun State makes giant strides in infrastructural development in what indigents call unusual governance. Plus, Nigerian Army meets the educational needs of pupils in internally displaced persons camp in Maiduguri. Glad you could join us on this edition of The Correspondents. With me, Laure, Bala, Hassan, welcome on board. Let's begin with the activities at the Kaduna Airport. Since the airport took over the operation of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, the Kaduna Airport and the railway stations along that axis have come alive. Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, visited Kaduna on facility tour. Correspondent Anthony Forson was on the minister's entourage from Abuja to Kaduna.
Sorry, please. The Minister of Information and Culture began his trip to Kaduna from the Idu train station in Abuja and terminated at the Rugasa end in Kaduna before proceeding to the Kaduna airport in the shuttle buses that have been provided. Upon arrival, Minister of State for Aviation Hadis Rika conducted the Information and Culture Minister round.
They are all escorts. They escort buses to the train station and then to Abuja, some, and then also convey them back. And these are the buses that we provided. Depends on the number of passengers that will arrive at certain time. If they are in excess of 50, for example, we give them one big bus and one small bus, and then with the security to carry them. As you come down from the aircraft, there will be somebody with a flag. You see that bus to Abuja. He will guide you to your bus.
For instance, at the medical center, which is the first point of contact for foreigners, thorough screening are conducted on passengers upon arrival in line with international standards. For immigration, it was gratifying that a notice for obtaining visa upon arrival is on display, a confirmation that the federal government's policy on easing travel bottlenecks have been reduced.
We have officers from Abuja and the building officers posted from Kaduna. So what we are doing is to make sure that those of them from Kaduna, they understudy those from Abuja. So by the time the operations are over, then those of Kaduna will be able to take over most of the infrastructure we are going to leave behind.
Are there challenges?
So far, so good. No challenges.
For customs, NDLA and other security agents operating within and around the airport, they were seen on full alert. For flight schedules, there were no delays. Flights takeoff and landing are on schedule. Laure Mohammed and Hadis Rika briefed the media on what has gone in so far.
Due to the temporary closure of the Abuja International Airport for reconstruction purposes. Like I said again, because people still hold tenaciously to the erroneous belief that there is no need to close the airport. As the Honourable Minister will explain to you in detail, there is no alternative to closing that airport. Because what is going on is no routine maintenance, it's actually complete reconstruction of the runway. Now, no doubt the closure would bring about some hardship and some inconvenience. But as a government, we have tried to minimize this hardship, these inconveniences.
This is only temporary. We've done 2 weeks out of 6. So already we are moving forward. We have got 4 more weeks to go. And I assure you this would be done smoothly and in the interest of safety. So far, this is the brief that I can get because it's an impromptu and then brief discussion with you. If you have any questions, I will ask. I will answer rather. Yes, there will be a second runway in Abuja. Hopefully within the next 24 months, we would have a new runway, my hope. And then there is a second runway in Kano, the military runway, the second runway in Lagos, the second runway in Port Harcourt, the military. So they have second runways. I think the focus of government now within the limited resources is to do a second runway in Abuja. The remaining one during the concession process, if we need additional runway, the man who will win the concession should be able to give us a second runway.
The ministers assure that more foreign airlines are expected to join Ethiopian Airlines, which has become regular on the Kaduna route.
Good, it's fine, very good.
Wow, to me it has favored me because so many visitors who attended my daughter's wedding would have gone to pick from Abuja, landed right at home. So to me it's a blessing.
The Minister of Information and Culture, Laure Mohammed, returned to Abuja on one of the airport shuttle buses made available to convey passengers.
It is heartwarming to know that everything is working as planned. Thanks a lot, Anthony. And to electricity. With huge gaps in the provision of national grid, power infrastructure in rural areas of Nigeria, there is strong recommendation by the sector players for government to deploy solar energy for electricity generation. The shift in diversifying into renewable energy sources may just be the remarkable turnaround for the people and their economic activities. Correspondent Hamza Musa Makarfi takes the story from there.
Madugu community along Kefi Nasara Road, about 40 kilometers from Abuja city center, feels the ambience of traffic plying the route on a daily basis, but can only imagine how life is in the nation's capital with the trappings of modern life. Many rural communities in Nigeria share a similar fate of needs to empower their living standards, particularly the effects of the lack of national grid infrastructure and inability of electricity market operators to reach them due to their locations and economic considerations. Findings show only 35% of rural communities in Nigeria have access to power supply, as the larger picture reveals an estimated 1.2 billion people worldwide.
We cannot continue to wait for the discourse to get to them. That will be a pipe dream, and only God Almighty knows how long that pipe is. Let there be a deliberate policy to determine the real needs. The needs are simple, but very effective. Power in the local communities will make a lot of change.
In fact, it affects our life very greatly, because some of us will have electronic, we cannot operate because no lights, to have news every day. This affects us very well, mostly, even to cover your personal activity in your house, you can't do without a light. In behalf of Madugu people or community, I'm appealing to the federal government to look into our problem and supply us with electricity and water supply.
With the popularization of renewable energy sources in Nigeria, solar, which has the daily sunshine average of 6 hours, is feasible resource for the deployment of power to rural communities.
Electricity from solar energy I think it's something that almost all communities worldwide are now driving towards. And we have good intensities of solar energy, and therefore the higher the intensity, it drives costs down.
So if we have sun all day from morning till night, we should get about 8 to 11 hours of light. From being here in Nigeria and traveling through other West African and African countries, the excitement here in Nigeria is unbelievable. Bringing light to a community in rural Africa is exceedingly important. However, we do need to bring the sustainability with it.
Outreach in communication, education can be enhanced.
And when there is light, women like this can spend some quality time processing their agricultural produce.
The federal government, in addition to isolated deployment in rural areas of Nigeria, is also working with 12 firms on the development of about 1,000 megawatts for the national grid.
We cannot underestimate the expectations of the rural communities. Let's not leave it to the local people. Their outreach, their resources are very poor. Government should deliberately do that for them, because the essence of governance is to provide good livelihood to the rural folks.
State government should partner with development partners and get communities involved, minimize risk for the development partners so that they can easily come in and we'll have electricity from solar energy. The good thing is that government is listening. Government is working towards achieving what is in the national energy policy. Need to diversify our energy sources, both for electricity and for fuel.
But as solar deployment is becoming very popular in Nigeria, there are concerns about initial cost to build infrastructure on a larger scale, maintenance, and over-reliance on the importation of materials, which depletes scarce resources.
Yes, Hamza, imagine a Nigeria where there is uninterrupted power supply. Life will be more meaningful. We hope the country gets there very soon. Many thanks. Now, let's take you to what is called the uniqueness of projects in Osun State. The Osun State government's 6-point pact with the people can be summed up in 2 words: governance unusual. This is evident in the breathtaking nature of projects already inaugurated in the state. Correspondent Tunji Adepoju compiled some of these projects for us.
At the onset of the administration of Governor Rauf Adesoji Aregbesola in Osun State, he itemized a 6-point agenda called My Pact with the People, which can be summarized as governance unusual. Aregbesola listed poverty eradication, qualitative education, infrastructural development, and good health care as his agenda. Right now, the projects being executed and the ones being completed rightly say this about the administration of Ogbeni Aregbesola. Projects are named symbolically, and they are named after personalities across Africa, in Nigeria, and in the world, those who have made their mark in the development of humanity. We have the Mandela Park, we have the Oba Adesoji Aderemi East Bypass Road, and on this road are some bridges, 5 in number, named after some judges who delivered landmark judgments in Osun State.
The meaning of the names we gave to the 4 bridges on the corridor. You have 5 judges. Is the bridge across the rail line. Following that immediately is number 26 bridge over River Osun. Then this, number 27. Then the last bridge on River Osun going towards Ilesha Road Junction is August 9. So the meaning of the names for the 4 bridges will be unraveled at the commissioning by the grace of God. But the question as to why did we have to do it? Okay, one, the essence, the fundamental objective of state is to promote the welfare and security of the people. So it was towards achieving that objective that, one, that road was constructed, and the bridges that accompanied the road too became important.
We have the Adebisi Akande Trumpet Interchange on Gbogan Oshogbo Road, as well as others named after personalities.
This is really, really wonderful. It's good to know that in spite of the recession, there's still money enough in Osun State to do something that will be seen long after recession is gone, something that is a legacy project.
These projects have impacted positively on the development of Osun State, as attested to by these respondents.
It's a very good sign of development in the state. It will open more space for people. It will open more things for people in the state. So it's a good sign. It's very, very good.
However, some people complain that the projects have affected the welfare of civil servants in terms of salary payment and other emoluments that civil servants enjoy.
When he came on board, it wasn't like this. He was paying salary regularly. He was even paying 13 months. We call it 13 months because workers will receive some amount of money as special package for the job they have done. They will receive their leave bonuses and so on and so forth. In fact, it's not an overstatement. It's not again saying Aregbesola did a lot in Osun State.
By and large, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola believes he has done well when he says this about his projects.
We are very far from our goal. We are sure that in financial crisis and that we are on top. Our head is high and our spirit is strong. So believing in God, confident at the end of the day, we shall sing a beautiful song of victory.
Generally, the development phase of Osun has changed tremendously, and these are all evident in all the educational projects, road construction, and development of social amenities across the length and breadth of Osun State. This is the November 27 interchange, a major and symbolic landmark on the Eastern Bypass Oba Adesoji Aderemi Expressway in Osun State. There are 4 more bridges named symbolically on this road project, the last being the Augustine Bridge towards the Osun River.
Indeed, the projects and their uniqueness have given the state a new status and also a new meaning to development. Thank you, Tunji. And still to come, opportunities in the non-oil sector of the economy. That's after the break. Join us again.
You are watching NTA, Nigerian Television Authority. For more information and news updates, visit our website at www.nta.ng, or you can follow us on Twitter at NTA News Now, or you can like us on Facebook at NTA Network News. Stay connected on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Watch our live stream at www.nta.ng/live. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Welcome back. You're still on to the correspondence. Let's take a look at the solid mineral sector. In a bid to overcome the current economic recession in Nigeria, the federal government is focusing more attention on the non-oil sector for economic development. Correspondent Tina Toro examines the opportunities abound in the solid mineral sector in Kaduna State area, recently visited by the Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Kayode Fayemi.
The oil boom brought about the neglect of the solid mineral and agricultural sectors. The fall in price of crude oil in the global market has forced the federal government to turn to solid minerals and agriculture towards revamping the economy. Kaduna State is one of the states that is blessed with abundant mineral resources, which, if harnessed, can turn around the economic fortunes of the state.
The government has secured approval, the ministry, for the solid mineral fund from the Natural Resource Fund that can be used to help investors, even those that are not, that don't have the capacity, but they are serious, they can be supported.
Some Nigerians have, however, taken the bull by the horn and delved into tiles and granite processing.
The bulk of what we use is imported. And when you see the quality of the stone here, it's much better than what even obtains in the countries where they're bringing this in from.
We should be able now to translate policies into action. Some of us are thinking into going into real mining, tin, columbite, lead and zinc, and the potentials are huge.
Birnin Gwari is a land blessed with abundant gold deposits, but the mines are left in the hands of locals who mine gold using crude implements. The issue of illegal mining, however, is a cause for concern, considering the huge revenue that is lost annually by the federal government, as Birnin Gwari is a hive for illegal miners.
This is a full-scale illegal mining. I have looked at the records. This person or company does not appear in our records anywhere as possessing an exploration license or a mining lease. So, in the short term, we're going to make sure that this operation stops.
The state has been allocated a Hilux vehicle so that the mining inspectors can go around the illegal mining sites, and if they're able to catch such people, they will be punished.
The solid minerals sector has the ability to create more than 1 million jobs and turn around the economic fortunes of the country if given the desired attention.
Very well then, diversification of the Nigerian economy is just the way to go. Thanks, Tina. And to the education sector, one key area that suffered setback in the 6 years of insurgency in Borno State is the education sector, such that acquisition of knowledge for thousands of children became impossible. To address this, the 7th Division of the Nigerian Army, Maiduguri, decided to construct 5 classrooms, a borehole, and also donated educational materials to pupils of Bakassi IDP's camp school in Maiduguri to facilitate learning. Correspondent Memuna Garba tells us more.
The gesture is in line with its desire to complement the Borno State government and international non-governmental organizations in improving the standard of education, essentially for the children of the IDPs whose quest for knowledge was disrupted by activities of Boko Haram terrorists. The General Officer commanding 7th Division, Brigadier General Victor Izogu, said the division has constructed 5 classrooms with the capacity to accommodate 50 pupils each.
I made a promise to provide the camp school with some infrastructures and academic materials towards guaranteeing a future of these displaced kids who have shown desire to acquire knowledge, which is the key to unlocking illiteracy in Borno State. The project is in furtherance of the commitment and desire of our able Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General T.Y. Buratai counter-terrorism strategy, which is aimed at applying the stick to whip Boko Haram while using the carrot to ensure a bright future for children who are innocent victims of terrorism.
He said the provision of a 7.5 kVA generator by the division is meant to aid the expansion and reticulation of water to parts of the school to make the environment conducive for learning.
To ensure that these social amenities that support academic learning provides a very good ambience for students to learn. So it's just a little way of saying, let there be water because water is life. Thank you very much.
The GOC also presented 100 dozens of customized 7-division exercise books and 20 dozens of pens, chalk, math sets, among other educational items.
Thank you very much, sir.
Commissioner for Education Musa Inuokobo called on all to support the pupils, who are mostly orphans, as most of them have neither parents nor relations.
The effort of the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Air Force, the police and other security operatives, in fact, is not only in the counter-insurgency to wipe terrorism in the state. They have gone a long way in salvaging the education sector, providing health facilities. If you go to most of these camps, you can see them in the classrooms, you can see them in the health offices. Most of the service provisions that are in these camps are provided by these people.
To say thank you, sir. Thank you of the effort made by you to assist in improving the school condition. I wish to appreciate the soldiers and teachers who have always tried to teach and put us through. Thank you all.
The classrooms provided have been put to good use. Already, the children are having their lessons in a conducive environment.
That's right. Education remains the best legacy to give to children, even in difficult circumstances. Thanks a lot, Memuna. And that's it on the Correspondents this week. Thanks for being part of it. We hope to see you again next week. From all of us here, it's bye for now.